Judge admits Tony Robinson's sentence without due process. This is interesting and possibly grounds for a mistrial or retrial. Let's just jump into it. The judge who imprisoned Tommy Robinson admitted he watched little of Tommy Robinson's live stream he claimed was evidence that Robinson was in contempt of court. According to Robinson's producer, Cologne, I might be mispronouncing Robinson, who was in court during Robinson's sentencing, Judge Jeffrey Marson, QC, I might be mispronouncing, admitted that he barely watched Robinson's live stream, despite it being a focal point of Robinson's arrest, according to the arresting officers themselves. The number one most significant thing that actually caused a little bit of a gasp in the courtroom for a couple of members of the press was when the judge actually admitted he hadn't watched the full live stream of Tommy Robinson talking. Robinson said on the Alex Jones show Tuesday, he's only watched a very, very brief moment of it before he made up his mind to imprison Tommy. So, just on that, when he says Robinson said on the Alex Jones show, he's actually talking about Kalana. I know I'm getting that name wrong, but it's actually him, not Tommy. So Tommy hasn't been on InfoWars, in case anyone was questioning. I was a little bit confused, so I just wanted to put that note in. In contrast, during the arrest, the police told Robinson he was creating a breach of peace based on the content of what you're streaming. In other words, the content the judge never bothered to watch. How could a judge claim Robinson was tainting a trial if he hadn't watched Robinson's full live stream? Robinson could have simply been talking about the weather and the judge's sentence would have still remained the same, given the judge's self-admitting ignorance. It seems that Judge Marson didn't base his decision to imprison Tommy exclusively on the evidence presented. Additionally, Robinson and his film crew were reporting outside the court case when the Muslim grooming trials was almost over. And according to Carlos Robinson, they were careful only to report the facts of the case which were already publicly given. I think it's supposed to be due to the fact that Robinson previously was accused of committing attempted court last year. Interesting, RT reported on this before the outlet scrubbed its article due to the judge's gag order against press coverage and the arrest, meaning that this simple fact was kept hidden from the public. Not really, because I heard about it and I was actually talking about it as well, so there were other people mentioning it as well. RT spoke to Robinson's producer, Cologne Robinson, about the confrontation outside of Leeds Crown Court and Robinson's subsequent arrest. Quote, "Their case has been going on for about a year," Robinson said. "Tommy had all the publicly available information, and on that live stream he repeated the information that was already public. We were very careful with language as not risk being held in contempt of court." The judge imprisoned Robinson under the assumption that his report would have caused a mistrial by influencing jury opinions. But since Robinson was reporting on publicly available facts, those facts already available to the jury, how could this be accurate? And to declare a mistrial, a judge would have to look at what information had been leaked and whether or not it would reasonably sway the opinion of a jury. Since Judge Manson admitted he never bothered to look into the content of Robinson's livestream, how could he know that Robinson's report was evidence of jury tampering? And if the Judge Marson wanted to keep a public attention away from the trial, he completely screwed that up by fueling an international news story with the arrest of Robinson and his subsequent gag order against press coverage. Judge Marson helped Tommy Robinson by shining a supernova of a spotlight on the trial, which Robinson couldn't have done. In short, Judge Marson created the Streisand effect, which is also something that I said in my very first video. Judge Marston's very own tactics have contributed to the alleged harm he claims Robertson has done by merely reporting on the trial. And despite claiming he's defending the due process of those accused at the trial, Judge Marston seems to have actually violated the due process of Tommy Robinson. Okay, so what's the takeaway from all this? Do I think that due process wasn't followed in this case? Yes. Do I think that there needs to be another trial? Yes. With another judge, of course. Yeah, at the end of the day, guys, I don't think they've actually gone through. They haven't followed, obviously, due process when it comes to court. He needs to have another trial. He really, really does. He needs to have his lawyer, because apparently he wasn't able to get that. They need to be able to go through and talk about whether or not he actually committed any of these crimes. And we also need to look at why the judge sentenced a person to 13 months, which is extreme for contempt of court, when other people have broken contempt of court 26 times, for example, and only had like 13 weeks in prison. Why 13 months for Tommy? At the end of the day, yeah, I think this judge is biased. I think this judge is trying to make an example out of Tommy Robinson, and I think they knew he was going to turn up. I think this was all set up to arrest him and get him out of the way so that they could go through and stop him shining a light on this government-covered-up pedophile ring when it comes to Muslim grooming gangs. But guys, let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. Do you believe that Tommy Robinson should be given another trial? Do you think that the judge followed court proceedings? Or do you think he sentenced Tommy without due process? Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. If this video has been helpful, please smack a like. If you're new, channel, welcome and subscribe. Apart from that, guys, I'll see you in the next demonetized video from YouTube. Have a great day and enjoy.